welcome to Inside the Circle, or should I say inside the virtual circle. Fortunately, couldn't be together today, but excited to, recap what was an exciting Cinco de Mayo HCS 10.
Yeah, it was an awesome event, and doing this, virtually is what we need to do to make sure we give everybody a little shout out to what an event it was. I mean, sold out crowd. We had to turn people away. Didn't think that was going to happen. It was nice, hot in there. It was a little bit of everything, Captain Ben saved the life, so that was good. Yeah, it was good. Good card.
That's twice now.
Twice now. Lifeguard.
Twice on the staff.
Do you get like a special certification or something if you get 3?
Yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah, we should make you a little poster or a plaque or something.
Honorary EMS.
But
in there.
Yeah, definitely sad to have missed that one. It looked like an awesome event, like you said, sold out. Doesn't happen too often, so that's how you know you had the names there. And the event online definitely showed it. Looked like the crowd was hyped the whole way through. Some big names, big fights, and I think it all started up top. Cole Matthew versus Sarge Eubanks. It delivered.
It delivered. We didn't know what we were going to see from Sarge, but I'll say, Sarge, you're the best. She was there on time. Where a lot of the times, I'm running around waiting for people to come. She was on time, asked the right questions, did her part, and she stepped up against our pound for pound GOAT right now. Nicole takes on all comers. Before the match started, before the event, before Nicole even got there, because Nicole was running late. She had little dog issues, whatever, but we knew she was going to come. Lydia looked at me and said, Nicole's going to win by knee bar. And I said, oh, yeah, that's where we're going. She's like, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I got up against the wall and it happened. Which, I mean, Sarge did a great job putting her right up against the wall right away, which I thought that's exactly what Sajar needed to do. Find a comfortable spot and being that high-level MMA fighter and black belt, but put her against the wall and make her uncomfortable. But Nicole showed that she's not uncomfortable anywhere. And, yeah, it was fun.
Nicole's on just rolling right now. And honestly, I don't envy your job here of trying to find someone that might give her a push here, because I don't know if that person exists. But she's just on an absolute tear. Just like the confidence to not even you predict it, but your teammates know about it too. Like everyone's like, yeah, this is exactly what she's gonna do, and then to go out there and then do it is, that's just crazy high level stuff that we're seeing from her.
Yeah, and that's why you have a team, and that's why you have a game plan. A lot of people, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners, I know for myself, like getting ready for matches, I mean, yeah, I might have ideas, but just do what you do. And the fact that she stayed calm, cool, collected the entire time, she was coaching throughout the event, and she got to the spot. She's like, oh, we drilled this 1,000 times. And you go, and I mean, we took the trip out to Method and watched her train, and we got to train with those guys. Chris, her partner and head coach, he's very methodical. And Method MMA sounds exactly what it is, or Method Jiu-Jitsu. They're methodical, and they had a game plan, and they did it. And you know what I mean? Like you said, it's tough to find her tough company. I mean, there is someone that I want to see the match, but it just got confirmed for another promotion. They're fighting for a belt. Her and Trinity is going to be fun. But that's why we do our Grand Prix, and we'll see that. We'll see Nicole battling for the belt later this year, and we'll see. Whoever's in that tournament is got to be ready to go against the best. And Nicole's the best.
Yeah, definitely. And then so Nicole potentially our pound for pound GOAT right now, and I think her competition for that title was the co-main, Andrew Cockle. Went out there and took care of business again. Submission via heel hook. I mean, he same thing as Nicole. You send him out there against anyone every time. He goes out there, does what he does, and another person. Can we find someone that is gonna stop him? Because I don't know who it is.
The Rooster, man. The Rooster. He I mean, Ben can hop off this too. Just the energy of those two the entire night was high. Like you can tell everyone in that building, yes, they wanted to see Sajara and Nicole, but they wanted to see Sam and Andrew go at it as a rematch. Sam does a great job promoting it, and Sam's a dog, Sam made a mistake. That sub happened from him trying flying triangle. He tried some jumping attack, and then he ended up in the 50-50 spot, and you're in 50-50 with what do you want? I think prior to that moment, Sam was in it. He was aggressive, it was definitely one era, and I listened to him and his coach after, and it sounded like that was the one thing that really changed it. I don't remember what attack it was. It was definitely something jumping. He definitely put himself in a bad spot.
They're always out of Valley. They're like, it is constant submission hunting. It's like it never ends. It's just submission to submission the entire time. I mean, the positions were there, but it works well with the rule set being a sub only rule set, but they really like take that to the next level. I mean, it's just constant submission hunting the whole time. And anytime I'm reffing them, I like have to stay on my toes because it can happen at any moment. Like they're just constantly hunting submissions, and I think it leads to more fun and entertaining matches to watch because it's not just positions the whole time. Like like I was saying before, like any moment the submission can happen. So yeah, I love the energy that Valley brings. Like we're saying in our last Inside the Circle, we put out our top 10 moments. All Valley final was super fun.
Yep.
That was fun for me as a ref to watch, like be able to watch that close. That final was really fun. So yeah, they're just, two great competitors. Andrew Cockle obviously is excellent, and I'm looking forward to his next one Inside the Circle.
I mean, that Valley team is crazy. And I know, Dante Rivera's team, we'll talk about them a little bit, but low level guys in terms of belt rankings. But I mean, when we come to our two favorite teams at HCS, it's kind of got to be Valley and Dante Rivera right now, with just the energy they bring to the team event. It's not just like, because some of the other teams sometimes, especially the ones that are like not necessarily a team all the time, but they put together like an all-star team. They're there to put on a good match, but they don't have that team vibe. But those two come and they understand it's not just an individual competition. It's both of them going at it. So like this, the vibes the two of them bring to, if we ever got the opportunity to see some higher level Dante Rivera guys, or just see them step up and go up against the Valley, even though they're those lower belts, I think the energy in the room would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's not off. Dante's teams, they're MMA, and their main goals are bigger than the circle is right now. But they'll be back, and I know some of that team that was there last year did get promoted. So I mean, when we start talking about our next event, that is something to think about. But with that being said, I mean, Valley, Villanueva got a win too.
Yeah, it did.
Villanueva's opponent changed at the last second. Got Logie to come in. He gave up about 30 pounds. And it was just calm, cool, collected, found the sub. And that's what you need to do. And I mean, having that as your, it seems like, best friend and training partner in and out every day, you're both going to be on top, and that's where they're sitting right now. They're on top in the division. I mean, when you say I need to find somebody else for Cockle, yeah, he'll have plenty of preseason. But man, it was fun. It was fun. I mean, and I love Sam. I mean, I love the build up. That was and Ocean County BJJ. We're talking about major schools in the area. There's no bigger than Ocean County BJJ. Tom DeBlas, he's a head of multiple schools. It's all the affiliation and all them, and they brought out. I mean, they had a couple guys on the card, and they were there the whole time. Yeah, man, I just love the team. The team atmosphere in the circle, and that's why the house party is better. You want to bring your friends. You want to have a support staff around you, and I think it was crazy. I mean, there's only so many things we can say.
Yeah, and they're definitely a team that just gets it. That the whole point of why HCS was made and all of that. They're a group of people that know that like jiu-jitsu, sometimes you get that problem where a lot of guys take it super seriously, or they're doing it, but maybe they're not showing the passion they have for it. That's a team that understands, like, we want to bring the fun and the party to jiu-jitsu, and they're totally understanding and thrive off of that kind of environment that we can give them. So I definitely always love having the Valley guys on. It doesn't help that they're also studs. So I mean, yeah, rolling on wrong after that. I mean, what was that? We had Perez and Lee, right? Double overtime. And Perez delivered. I mean, there was some hype there with Perez, but
that match surprised me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, going into it, obviously we know who John is, undefeated, still undefeated. I didn't know much about Dan. I didn't know so much about Dan to the fact that when he showed up and checked in, I didn't know he was part of the rubber guards table either. He was sponsored. He worked the table all event, and they came out and then had John. When when he was leaving, he looks, he was like, dude, John's a big guy. I'm like, yeah, he's big. He's like, I normally don't go 205, but I was like, yeah, whatever, go. But man, he gave it to him. I mean, won in ADCC. He did not get finished. John's 5-0 in the circle with 4 finishes. So now Dan's the only one that hasn't got finished after giving up the size. It was a very back and forth match. And you love when he goes to the ACC round. All right. Like, I love finding that win. I love that round better than the final overtime. Dan he has a great mustache. Like, that was top tier mustache. And his game was there. John had to really work. And I'm going to give it to John too. Like, the week before he fought Itzo for the Revolt grappling title, he lost. It was literally only 5 days prior to the event, but he kept his head and he said, nope, I'm going to go right back to the circle. And there he was. I mean, it was a good event. A good match.
Yeah, potentially get him with Itzo for a little revenge in our circle, maybe. Both guys turn him in. And then, maybe get Dan Lee someone a little smaller. See what he can do against someone closer to size.
185. I think 185 is Dan Lee's new home.
We always appreciate someone who's willing to, take on whoever. Like we said, I mean, Villanueva just to go. He didn't care. I mean, the beauty about jiu-jitsu is you can give up a little bit of weight and still put it on someone sometimes. Not the case here, but, definitely something to think about for him. Got to keep that mustache around in the circle, though. Always love the guys who dress the best and the guys who have the best facial hair are the guys that I appreciate in the booth the most. I love talking about jiu-jitsu, but sometimes I need something else, and they provide it to me. So I definitely appreciate those guys being around.
It helps when you have like a recognizable like aspect of somebody,
especially when you don't really know who he is.
Yeah, a lot of the names can end up blending together, and it's easy when they have a certain something where you can just kind of pick them out from a crowd.
His name's Dan Lee. That doesn't stick out, so we have to find something. So appreciate the facial hair.
Yeah. Speaking of Lee, I didn't realize we had 2 Lees on the card until the week of, and everyone's like, "Oh, my promo code's not working," so I had to change it real quick, not realizing we had 2 Lees on the card until home stretch. But
might as well hop into that one. We can hop back to the main card after, but we wanted to bring him up. I mean, he showed up again. He does what he does.
Yeah, we're gonna have Bobby and Tyler.
Right, that was Ben's match to look forward to, right, from the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You kick it off, Ben, then.
Yeah, I mean, the match delivery, I knew it was going to be a good one. When 2 guys who, 2 high-level guys, when they go at it, sometimes stuff like that happens where it's a quick finish. You know what I mean? 2 guys who are hunting the submission. I didn't expect it to end as quickly as it did. I thought it would go a little bit longer, but like I said, I mean, it was a great finish from Tyler Lee. Excellent stuff. Super, 2 high-level guys, and sometimes that just happens.
Yeah, I mean, I had a chance of getting Tyler on the Hammer Time podcast after, and he's an interesting cat. He's everything he does is high energy. When we went last year, when Immortals was supposed to be on the Pro Team Duels, and we went there and did interviews with everybody as they did their tryouts, and unfortunately they pulled out at the last second. Tyler had his sunglasses on. He was like full into interview mode, and he wants to be the show. And I think he definitely has something behind him. Yeah, the celebration was wild. He got up right away, and he even on the top podcast he apologized a little bit. He's like, "Listen, I was just so amped up." I was like, when we thought that match was going to go back and forth for a while, but you see the size of Tyler. He's a lot bigger than Bobby. It might be the same weight class, but there is a strength advantage. And once you get a Kimura on, your shoulder only can do so much. So I'm happy Bobby tapped when he did, so we can bring him back. Because you know what? Bobby's back HCS 11.
Yep.
He's back right away. As soon as he left, I love Bobby. He literally, since the moment that he did the Ironman tournament, came back a couple weeks later, hopped in the pro duels on the same day when he was just a spectator. We're lucky he had shorts on him. Just keep on going, and then as soon as he left, it's like, yo, I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry. Like, everyone gets caught. Like, it's not, and that's what the sport is. And I would rather, as long as everyone walks away healthy and everything, come back. You always have a spot inside the circle. And it was good. I mean, I'm excited for Tyler. I mean, if you want to go and check out the interview that I did one-on-one with him, he has some big aspirations for this year, including that he's going to give a chance at the ADCC as a blue belt. I mean, go for it, right? The rule set is different. He's a big guy. He's won at big levels. But he has he's hunting some undefeated people that are in the records right now. And so maybe he gets back. And I know one match he wants to get back is Dimitri, since when he fought Dimitri, we did have the old rules where it was a set of death. And that's where he lost. And I mean, that match alone was the reason why we had to look back and said, all right, maybe we need to change the rules a little bit. And now we're here. So it would be different, it'll be interesting to get them going again.
And I'm sure that if he had got that rematch, just based on the way he always competes, he's not going to want to go to the overtimes anyway. He's always high pace, high energy, trying to find something right away, which obviously he was able to do this time. But against a guy like Dimitri, we'll see if he's able to, make those adjustments. Because I think a lot of his is like that big energy showmanship. It'd be cool to see the other side of it, the calculation, the planning that he'd have to put in, because this is a guy you have lost to, even though you might not have agreed with the rules or whatever at the time, you lost. So the adjustments you would make with your coach, with yourself to kind of get back into that rematch, it'd be interesting to see that other aspect of his game.
For sure.
So back into the main card, and I'm sure for those of you who turn into our house parties know that I'm not on the mic as the guy who knows all of the moves and all the technique. I'm there to bring the fun. We usually bring someone else who knows a little bit more about what they're talking about next to me. This submission, Burns Sanchez. Yeah. I've heard of Platas before, not this kind of Plata. So why don't you go into that?
The Tarico Plata, or however you pronounce it.
It was cool.
You thought you didn't know. When Aaron won, she left, and I'm getting ready to do the official results. I had to text her. I said, what are we calling it? And she told me what it was, and they were literally just drilling that in Asbury, like the week before, is what from my understanding. And I mean, without a doubt, I mean, she goes against Emily Sanchez on a week's notice. She fills in for Chelsea Mappa. That unfortunately we weren't able to get Chelsea. And man, I love Erin. Like the face of her reaction is what we want to do, right? She was purely happy. It was, oh my God, I hit the move I always wanted to hit. And when Erin hopped down, she's been on here. She was the first female match. When she first did that, we were having conversations with her. Sorry, Erin, I'm throwing you under the bus right now. But she didn't know how to cut weight. She didn't want to cut down to 25. She's never done it before. So I talked her through it a little bit. She made 25. She lost to Chelsea, but whatever, moves on. And then she takes big matches. She lost to Sydney. Oh, it's tough. But now she's won 3 in a row. Right? Within 10 months. And then I looked at her, I said, listen, like, you just took out Emily. Emily's a dog. Emily was just in the Money in the Bank for finishers. She did a good showing there. Erin beat her. Erin, she's a mom. She's later in life, and jiu-jitsu is not the main goal right now. And she even says it, like, she's a gi player. She's a gi player that I got convinced to go to no gi. And I told her she has a spot in the Grand Prix in August. She's like, I'm not. I was like, we'll see. I was like, you're going to be a top 3 seed.
Yeah, hop in.
It's one day.
She's talking to me about her competing days might be behind her. I was like, then what better than
go out?
Go out with a check. Go
Yeah.
out with the belt. So, which I Chelsea won the first one, but I want to see it. The growth, they both stay active. Yeah, man. She stepped up, and I'm happy for. I'm happy we finally got Emily on the card. Emily is now qualified for the Grand Prix. Hopefully, we can get her back. But yeah, it's crazy. Girl jiu-jitsu is always
always exciting. And I honestly think that's potentially HCS's bread and butter moving forward, because we always get the most exciting girl fights on these cards. But Aaron, if you truly think you're stepping away soon, give me the opportunity to throw you a little retirement party on stream. Let's have some fun with it. We'll make it a thing, especially if you get that check. We'll make sure the house party represents for that, because I don't think anything better than a little retirement party. Every star goes on a retirement lap. LeBron is not retiring. He's going to take a year. He's going to collect his flowers. He's not retiring yet. Let's do the same for you. We'll do a little retirement tour. And then last of the main card, right? Haynes Moeller, Shimos,
the Cobra.
Overtime. I was a little surprised in the result. Not gonna lie. Every time I see the Shimos name, I'm always expecting them to overwhelm their opponent just based on what we've seen in the circle from him and his brother. But Haynes Moeller came to play.
Yeah, a couple months ago, we go into the Grand Prix, Zach sitting as the number 1 seed. He's now lost back-to-back. He didn't get finished this one. This one was just a situation. They both kind of neutralized each other during regulation. Not many attacks for me. Not many attacks I got. Close to finishing, I would say. I wouldn't say anyone was really in trouble. So it did get to the point thing, and Haynes Moeller just wrote him out. That's what it was. He got out, and then he kept it back, and he even got a little high. We definitely didn't think we were going to go to ADCC, but he was able to position himself, and he goes and he puts himself now 2-0, and in a good spot. There was some issues with weight, but he's getting it under control, and his main goal is that 155-pound Grand Prix. So it's definitely a match we can see again. But it was a technical match. It was a technical, and I was happy because both of them were happy when we made the match, because they haven't competed against each other yet. And again, at this high level of the belt, like, you've always competed against somebody at least once or twice. So it was a good, fresh matchup. And it was good. It was definitely more of the technical side. And if you enjoy jiu-jitsu, it was one to enjoy.
Yeah, tons of submissions on this card. You can't ask for more action. So it's always nice to even change that up a little bit, especially even not for the people who are jiu-jitsu practitioners. They're new to sport, watching through this. This is a good one to watch, to understand that, jiu-jitsu's a chess match out there a lot of times, and it's not always just brute force run through a guy. Sometimes you're going to get that matchup where it's two guys that are just so technically sound that finding that opening is nearly impossible, and it kind of was in this one. But definitely something to look into the future for both these guys, seeing them back in the circle. We're going to see them both. They're both been here before. They're going to be here again. Both always put on a good show for us. So, and then before we head into the other matches we talked about as our preview, let's talk about the submission of the night.
It was Franco. It's someone that he was supposed to be on the Immortals team. When we went and did the tryouts, I don't know how many buggies he hit, but we
like 8, an absurd amount.
We saw them. And the Latin Samurai, man, he's good. He's a very good guy. And just a good person. He's a high level black belt, and he's really gotten in a role right now, I would say. In the last year, he's competed a lot, beaten a lot of good guys. When he showed up, another guy, a little later end, but he did have a far commute. He was relying on somebody else for rides and stuff. He came in and he's like, "You know anything about my guy?" The day of. I'm talking about like he got there and I said, "Hey, you're up in 5 matches," and Thiago actually showed up around the same time, so we were both waiting for both of them. So it ended up being fine. I said, "Listen, he's a short, stocky guy, MMA fighter." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna buggy him." I said, "Okay," and that's what it was. It was tight. It was tight. Cap off to Cap over here for getting that, making sure that he was okay.
I obviously from the Immortals tryouts, I had seen him hit the buggy before, and seeing some of his other matches, I knew his buggy choke was kind of his bread and butter. So as soon as he threw it up, I knew I needed to pay attention. And like that choke sneaks up on you. It's you're fine, and all of a sudden you're out. So it's it was a super impressive submission against a great competitor in Thiago. And Thiago's a warrior. He went out on his shield. And like I was saying, just an excellent submission.
A nice little sportsmanship at the end there, popped right up, shook out the legs.
Absolutely.
You can hear it in like the first breakdown we put it up. Once he puts him to sleep, Franco's screaming, "He's out, he's out, he's out. Let's go," rushes to his feet, puts him up. I'm like, oh damn, dude. And then when Thiago did wake up, I had to make sure I make eye contact with him. I was like, "Where were you?" He's like, I was like, "Where are you?" And he told me HCS. I'm like, "All right, cool, get up."
Yeah. I don't think Franco knew he was out until I stopped it.
Oh yeah, that was a celebration of him.
Once I stopped it, I was like, "No, let go," and he's like, "Oh shit, he's out!" And then he stood up, and I was like, I thought that was, it was a crazy submission. That's the first one in HCS so far. Right? That's the first buggy choke.
First buggy choke. First full. People have attempted it.
Finished. Yeah.
Fun name.
It's
I can't. Way easier to say than any of the Platas.
It's Ben's dream to hit a buggy.
Yeah. I've been trying it out a lot recently. It's fun.
You should hit up Franco then. See if he has a couple tricks for you.
Yeah, some pointers.
We're in talks with Franco going for a seminar. Him and his brother are going on a little seminar tour, so stay tuned for that. Nice little seminar at the home gym. But yeah, dude, that shit got tight. And submission of the night, I got him his little sombrero he wanted, and it was a good night.
As long as everyone stays healthy and good after, always gotta kind of love when a guy goes out. It's definitely an exciting choke.
Once we get the blood back to your head, you're good.
Yeah.
And thank God we have high level refs.
High level.
Yep,
highest level.
UFC is going to be calling me soon.
Hey,
listen, you can't leave.
Yeah, we have a jam-packed schedule. Okay, you can do your UFC thing between January and February.
Yeah, wrestling season.
They call me and be like, "You need to talk to my boss real quick. You got to work some stuff out."
You have a blood contract.
Yeah, as long as HCS is on the canvas of the octagon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll be the prelims.
Yeah,
free sponsor.
I'm not paying. Yeah.
Dana competes against Joe Rogan in our circle. Then Ben can work for them.
Yeah.
Dana might be fighting the PFL guy after his competition.
In our circle.
Yeah.
So one of the previews, Josh, yours, you were looking at Karadag, right?
Yeah, I mean the Ellis and John rematch. Like I said, I tried to get this match a couple times. I actually been offered both of them a couple different times in other promotions. And it was, John was very excited to go into this match because, he got flying triangles. Shit happens, like as we say. So they both were respectfully, him and Emily, his fiance, were on the card. They were there early. They were there drilling together and they were focused. And they went at it. This match was back and forth the entire time. You could see Ellis was having some fun. He did some pushing away some whatever. That's more of
the Kamehameha going.
Yeah, well, whatever that means, whatever anime that is. He was having fun, but that's when Ellis is most dangerous. When he is having fun and healthy, the dude is dangerous. And they went back and forth. He won by armbar in overtime. He knew it was going to be there. He had a bunch of different game plans. Another guy that's very methodical. You wouldn't think, but he's very methodical. Like he was talking to me. He's like, "Oh, if he does this, I'm going to do this. do this, I'm gonna do this. Which I love being on this end now. Me not competing as much. I get to be on this end and talk to other competitors and learn how they kind of think about it, so I can bring it to my fighters and grapplers and all that kind of stuff, and make sure find that happy medium. But yeah, I mean, he won. He did another good celebration. He's on a little roll right now. It's crazy to think that him and Haynes Muller went against each other last year. It's the size difference is huge between the two of them. But it's just a different else, I think the duels is where we really saw him start pulling it together,
I think it was fun for him at the duels. I think that's like the point why we bring those duels together, is because he had the opportunity to compete with his, not just like compete, but like his friends are there. He's competing with like repping something. So like I think it brought some fun back into him. And like you said, since then he's been on a roll. So something worked, something clicked.
Battling injuries going into this, and that was the biggest issue. Like we were talking about making this match earlier in the year. It was main reason why, not main reason, but one of the reasons why we ended up starting the 2023 season with the females, because I was trying to get Ellis and them back to back. He's like, I think May, June would probably be better. I was like, all right, perfect. HCS 10. It's going to line up perfect. We'll put you on that big card, give you a good spotlight. And he took advantage of it. He definitely took advantage of it, climbing into his rankings now. Checking here. He made into the top now, right? He's on the page. He's 4-2. And that's what matters, the record in the circle is all that matters. And keep it going.
Yeah, and then I mean, my preview changed a little bit since I made the preview. Probably the most drama of the night. So before we get into the match itself, let's talk a little bit about what it's like from a promoter's end trying to replace a guy day of.
Day of? I'm not talking about day of. I'm talking about 40 minutes before we're going live. Checking everybody in. Sebastian's already in the building, warming up. He's on the mat. And unfortunately, Nottingham got sick. I hope he's feeling better. But I'm literally, I said, fuck. I said, what do I do? I think, Ben, you were sitting next to me when I got the text.
Yeah. Yeah, we were checking people in.
So I was like, all right, well, we're in a spot. I mean, Sebastian's already here. There's got to be someone in the building that wants to compete against them. Which we had a couple people walk in. I asked Dietrich from Tap House to ask. He was down. He was just a little bigger than Sebastian. Sebastian didn't want it. But there was a guy in there already scheduled for a match, and I always can count on him, and he drives far. He actually took the train to get down to HCS 10, and Justin Gonzalez. He had already matched with Robbie Bloom scheduled, but he said, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And he's someone that's trying to get back on track too. But yeah, I mean, once we got it down, they both were down. Then I was like, all right, who am I moving in what card or whatever? And of course, this is the first card that I printed out, out sheets. They handed out to everybody. I was like, God damn it. I think this is why you don't do it. It is what it is, I hate stuff happens. I'll say stuff happens. I've had people pull out at weigh-in time, and I've had people pull out like a day or two before, and I've been good. I normally find you a match, which we did have someone that pulled out weigh-in time, and I found someone last second. But man, if you're not 100%, I'm sharing this out now. If you're not 100% when you accept the match, just let me know. Just let me know so I'm not blindsided. If you know that you might not make it to the circle, let me know. Let me have some ideas so I can know and give some people a heads up, like, hey, it's not definitely you're going to be on, but there's a chance that you might not.
UFC usually has a backup for their big fights. We could do the same. But, I mean, my preview of the fight was mainly based on Sebastian and James being two guys that are returning to the circle that are always down and always, leave it all out on the mat. And I mean, I don't know if that description fits anyone better than Justin Gonzalez. He's someone who's absolutely always down, ready to compete, has been in our circle tons of times. So, I mean, hearing that he's a late replacement day of whatever is the least surprising thing that I could have possibly heard, because he's always ready to compete. And I mean, 40 minutes notice and you take it to overtime. I mean, nothing to be ashamed of there.
Yeah, it was a good match back and forth. Unfortunately, Justin had a long day. He did have a long day. With a big shout out to Robbie Bloom. Robbie Bloom's on a tear right now too. He found the win. Sebastian, man, is the only guy that I've seen hit omoplatas in the circle. He literally, the picture from this is identical from the one from HS3.
That's good technique right there.
It's literally there. He didn't finish it, but it was literally right there. Which, yeah, I mean, Sebastian, I try to get Sebastian on HCS 11. I tried. I tried to get him and Haynes Moeller back squared because after we lost that last year, but Sebastian's dealing with some injuries, and hopefully we'll see him back later in the summer.
Yeah, and I mean, you brought it up. So our next topic, HCS 11, and exciting things coming up. You brought him up, so let's just start there. Main event right now, Haynes Moeller, rewarding him for that victory. See him back in the circle right away.
Yeah, I mean, he's another special cat. He's now chilling 2-0 in the circle. He's been matched a couple times. He wins, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all we're looking for. We're looking for arm circle, and we're looking for people to push the pace, and he does. So he is coming back again, HCS 11 against Ricardo Fitness, and we'll continue how this whole conversation is because it has a lot to do with it. But HCS 11, June 24th, HCS 12, July 15th, and HCS 12 is the Grand Prix, 155 pounds. Right now, the bracket's looking about 12 to 14 guys, so we're going to give it a little more chance. Haynes Moeller's in a good spot. I mean, having a win over Zach is big. If Ricardo can beat Mike at HS 11, Ricardo will get a spot. If Mike beats him, he's 3-0, and you're looking at a top seed there. And very interesting thinking about it, his styles and his size. I told him he needs to make weight, so he's working on that. He's making 55 for June, so we'll be 3 weeks back there. That shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I don't know much about Ricardo. He's a black belt. He reached out, and he wanted it in the Grand Prix. The only way you could be in the Grand Prix is if you competed for us as a brown or black belt. So he's in, took a spot, and we'll see where it goes.
I think the thing that highlights that the most, and the thing I'm most excited about for HCS 11 is that team format. We welcome back our team champions, Dante Rivera, BJJ, heading back to defend that title, and I'm super excited. I mean, it's hard to describe the intensity that they brought last time, and they just ran through the event. They dominated start to finish. A lot of wrestlers, MMA guys that come in and just, wanted I think they had a little bit of chip on their shoulder. Like, I'm proving that wrestlers are the best grapplers. Like, that's what they were there to do when they did it. And I mean, it's going to be hard to challenge them. We got some good teams coming in to try to present that challenge, but it's tall task to beat Dante Rivera, BJJ.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without a doubt. We don't know what Dante's lineup is going to look like, but Dante has given me his word that they will be there. He has a big school. He has a big set of grapplers. I know a couple of people have gotten purple belts from last year, so they were not eligible for this. And I know a bunch of them are fighting the week before for CFFC. So we are going to have to see what happens there. Yes, we know Dante's team's good. They shut out everybody last year. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think the other teams that are coming in are very, very talented, with one being a home area people in Bayshore. Bayshore is someone that's at our event every time. If it's Sophie, or as if they're just coming in. RJ had a good Ironman tournament this year. So they bring people in, and it's going to be loud. Now they're going to bring 5. They're going to bring 5 of their teammates, and they're going to go after it. I know they were having jiu-jitsu offs, whatever you want to call them, to see who's getting on the team. And that's what we want. The more that I hear about people including our rule set into their everyday training makes it that we're doing something right. I know Lydia has her school doing HCS rounds. Perfect. Thank you. I don't need to do anything else. You know, you need to be ready to compete. You can be good at the IBJF. You can be good in ADCC. You can be good in EBI. You can be good in sub only. All those need a mix, and you need an understanding. You know, a lot of the times, you know, how many times people walk off the circle and like, oh, I lost. I had no idea. Well,
You know,
I know I did a rule meeting. I know I asked questions. Then now we have a video that you can watch. If you're going prior, ask us. But like, we're very pretty self-explanatory what it is. So Bayshore team's going to be locked and loaded with RJ Jimenez at the helm. You know, he's the only one that's on the roster right now that has HS experience. But again, they have Sophie Sharp in the school too, and again, they're at every event, so it's like they understand the rules. Vanguard Academy out of New York, they're coming out. They're bringing a good team. Everyone's going to make their debut, but they love. We have had a couple people from Vanguard come out, but they're going to be tough. And then Average Joes. So we had Purple Cobras in November. We'll have Average Joes. Unfortunately, they lost JT Taylor off that team. Got hurt. Hopefully, JT has a quick recovery, and we really want him back in the circle soon. But Guilherme Lemeu will be making his way back, and he'll be leading that team. And man, we had a lot of talk. All these teams wanted in. When we're down to 4, everyone will get 2 matches. These guys are the one putting the test. So everyone that said they wanted it, and then for whatever reason didn't end up there. There's always next year, I guess. But take advantage. You know, come out, support.
And JT, if you happen to be around, could always use a booth partner. You did great last time. Love to have you back in if you want to.
I didn't tell you, but you got a packed booth ready for June.
All right. Sorry, JT, you're out.
You'll be with Lydia.
See you, JT. Okay. Well, the booth did a great job last time.
And our 205 wild card, Joe Morelli, is making his commentating debut. But JT, if you want to be active, you want to be in there, coach your team, come on. But I'll get you busy.
We could always have him stop by for a little impromptu interview in the booth or something.
He can greet people. Maybe maybe offside the mat interviews.
I mean, you guys got anything else? I'm good to go. I'm excited. June 24th, Shrewsbury, New Jersey. Let's be there. To pack the house again. I mean, nothing quite like a sold out show. Team environment. You get to see both aspects of HCS. It doesn't get better. Can't join us? Catch the stream. It's a great time. Great way to spend a Saturday. Anything else, Ben, Captain?
Yeah. I'll plug something real quick. I'm sure Josh will be happy about this. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, HCS Grappling on YouTube. We have the whole female duels up there now.
If Josh moves his head, you'll see some HCS background for him there. Check us out on the socials. Yep.
Most other matches, like I said, all 8 duels are up there. It's got a great library of matches, some great stuff. So yeah, go subscribe, watch our stuff. We're trying to get the subscriber count up. So
absolutely, that's best place to have a house party's on YouTube. That's what I always said. It's always you heard that growing up. So
yeah,
if you're watching this right now, all you have to do is hit the button right next to it, because
all you got to do, click the button, get to hear my voice, Cap's voice, Josh's voice all the time. Nothing better than that. So thank you to our sponsors, TGI Fridays. It's not Friday today, but boy, do I wish it was. And shout out to All Jersey Mechanical as well. Both of them always there, always ready to sponsor us. Always give our fighters out some swag. So appreciate that. Anyone would like to sponsor with us, get their name mentioned here, give out some swag at the fights, get the plugs, let us know. All right. That was Inside the Circle.
Os.